You're watching CBC TV Channel 8, the station of our 50th independence anniversary.
The CBC Headline News, brought to you by Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network.
The industry minister launches a scathing attack on the trade union movement in Barbados. Environmental concerns force the closure of Combermere School. And coming up in sports, a leaky roof delays Warrens the chance at repeating as volleyball champs.
The CBC Headline News, brought to you by Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
Good evening, I am Shane Jones with the Tuesday, November 15th edition of the CBC Evening News. In our top story, Industry Minister Donville Innes has launched a scathing attack on the trade union movement in Barbados. He says the island cannot move forward with what he describes as recklessness. Commenting specifically on the go-slow at the island's ports of entry, he says the situation is frustrating for both locals and visitors. Mr. Innes claims the situation involving the president of the National Union of Public Workers, Akani McDowell, is no longer an administrative one, but one of politics. He says he sought unsuccessfully to intervene the dispute.
So, Mr. Speaker, as I called the president of UPW on the weekend, I said to him, I want an opportunity to speak to your members at your office, at the UPW headquarters. Because this is now a political matter. This is about administration. This is pure politics, and I'm a politician. He said he can't allow that. I said I'm going to ask permission for the police to hold a public meeting outside the NPW headquarters, if that is what it takes. Because the truth of the matter, Mr. Speaker, I know I can tell my share now, but the truth of the matter is that I am not going to sit here as we celebrate the 50th year of independence and have Barbados brought to a screeching halt by a bunch of irresponsible trade union leaders who are purely about practicing their partisan politics.
Minister Innes was speaking during the resumption of debate on the passing of a resolution for Parliament to congratulate Barbados on the attainment of its 50th anniversary of independence. Mr. Innes says the level of productivity by these senior union officials must also be questioned.
These said officers, or public officers, you know, and when you look at the fact that when they hold these offices, they do not go to work too often, they do not produce. Our forefathers must be very embarrassed at what happens these days around here.
Meanwhile, the Personnel Administration Division has responded to the National Union of Public Workers in the Akani McDowell affair. General Secretary of the NUPW, Rosalind Smith, says correspondence from the PAD was received this afternoon following a meeting of the Public Service Commission yesterday. She says the union will be responding to the PAD by tomorrow.
And we maintain that Mr. McDowell should be reinstated as a planning officer 1. The response by the chief personnel officer do not have merit, since the NUPW based its case on the laws, rules and regulations governing the public service, such as the Public Service Act 2007, the Service Commission's Public Service Regulations 1978, and the 201 Qualifications Order.
Ms. Smith says the NUPW will continue its industrial action and go slow at the ports of entry as it ponders its next move. Back to the House, and we're hearing that government will be refurbishing the entire South Coast sewage treatment plant. This is to rectify problems being experienced on that critical side of the island. Health Minister John Boyce says the Ministries of Health, Tourism and Water Resource Management have formalized the program to provide a short-term solution.
In the meantime, there are even shorter-term measures which I'm confident that the engineering and the maintenance team at the Barbados Water Authority are putting in place even as we speak Madam Deputy Speaker, to make sure that that unsatisfactory condition in the Worthing, Graham Hall area be corrected. And it is certainly something which is of deep concern to the Ministry of Health. The threat to our people is obvious, and the matter is being dealt with all alacrity.
Well, over the past few weeks, residents and businesses in the area raised concerns about leaking sewage, which is posing a health risk in the heavily concentrated tourist area. Minister Boyce says he also wants to see the sluice gate become operational once again to deal with the issues at the Graham Hall swamp. MP for the City of Bridgetown, Jeffrey Bostick, says the attainment of 50 years of independence is an important milestone. He notes several achievements have been made but feels there has been some deterioration in recent times. The city MP does not share the notion that the opposition Barbados Labour Party is not proud of Barbados' achievements.
Things have happened on both sides, and that is true. I've been proud of a government of Barbados that refused a shipwright agreement with the United States and had to renegotiate one that suited Barbados. I was proud of a Barbados government that said no to Article 98 with the United States, and when the United States said to the government of Barbados that we will withdraw support for your security forces, I was extremely proud when the Prime Minister of this country could say to the United States that the safety and security of Barbados is for the government and the people of Barbados.
Meantime, MP for St. George South Dwight Sutherland thinks Barbados' 50th anniversary celebrations have so far been too partisan.
The Trident went to the only Anglican church in St. George South, Madam Deputy Speaker. I was not invited. Madam Deputy Speaker, whereas I can't speak for the others, I can speak for myself. And I ask this question, Madam Deputy Speaker, if it's not partisan, and if we truly recognize the work of Sir Grantley Adams, why couldn't the Trident go to 111 Robert Street? Why couldn't it go opposite Hill Supermarket? Why couldn't we spend some time with the Broken Trident celebrating the work and the foundation that Sir Grantley Adams would have laid in this country for independence?
Opposition leader Mia Motley feels the Barbados Labour Party has been excluded from the planning of the island's 50th anniversary celebrations. She says government would have benefited from a number of good ideas. For example, she says people from the various parishes but now living in the diaspora could have been invited home for a special celebration.
December, the people of St. Lucie who live in the diaspora should be invited to come to Barbados, and there would be a special St. Lucie celebration. In January, the people of St. Peter would have been invited for the return and the coming of the generations for the people of St. Peter. In February, it would have been the people of St. Andrew. In March, it would have been the people of St. Joseph. In April, it would have been the people of St. James. And you literally come right down until October, it would have been the people of St. Michael. And then November, it would be the people of all 11 parishes. The gathering of the generations.
Transport Minister Michael Lashley, in his contribution, suggested there's been an evolution of public transport since independence. He says it has moved from a family-run business with government just setting the fares. According to Mr. Lashley, the state is now faced with similar issues akin to those of the 1970s. He believes as the country approaches 50 years, a vision must be set for public transport and it has to be modernized and infrastructure upgraded.
So that public transport continues to serve as one of the key platforms, sir, for socio-economic growth of this country. And we have to embark on projects. We have to look at a vision of technology, sir. We have to look at how are we going to protect small working class families too that want to come back into public transport. We then protect them, sir, before 1955. But now that we have small people, in fact, there has been an increase of small black working class people in this country to be involved in public transport.
The Combermere School has once again been forced to close as a result of environmental concerns. Students and teachers at the Waterford Institution were advised to leave the compound at 12:30 this afternoon after more than 7 teachers called in sick. Teachers have complained about symptoms including headache, sore throat, burning skin and eyes, and they have returned when they teach in certain areas of the school. During a Barbados Secondary Teachers Union meeting at the school this morning, chaired by President Mary Redman, a female teacher complained for chest pains and had to return home. It was then decided that there weren't an adequate number of teachers for classes to continue. The Ministry of Education says the school will remain closed until further notice to allow officials to investigate the concerns. And reception to Class 1 pupils of St. Paul's Primary School will be relocated to the Church of the Nazarene Colmar St. Michael from this Thursday. Parents of the affected pupils are being invited to a meeting at the Church of the Nazarene tomorrow at 4:30 to discuss the issue. The Queen Elizabeth Hospital is set to receive a substantial donation thanks to the local chapter of the Massey Foundation. Chairman Everton Brown formally announced its partnership with the Broadway to Barbados Charitable Trust in support of 3 projects at the hospital. Mr. Brown says the foundation has made a total commitment of $116,900 and presented a check for that amount to Chairman of the Trust, Robert Bork. The first initiative involves the purchase of a portable ultrasound device which will be used to diagnose a wide range of medical challenges in the accident and emergency department.
Massey Foundation recognizes that the $86,000 investment in this piece of equipment can greatly assist the accident and emergency department, which is normally the first point of contact for persons visiting the QEH for medical care. Therefore, if we can help to reduce the pressure placed on the healthcare professionals who work in this high demand environment, this could lead to further improvements in patient care.
The new equipment is already in transit and 2 specialists from Israel are expected in early December to train the hospital's physicians in its use. The foundation will also sponsor a group of accident and emergency nurses who will participate in online training as part of their continuous education.
Therefore, through the Emergency Nurses Association in the USA, Massey Foundation is sponsoring membership for 1 year for approximately 40 accident and emergency nurses to access training at a cost of $10,900.
The third project involves them donating $20,000 to purchase medical supplies for critical departments of the hospital. Okay, we'll take a short break here and come back with more news.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153 to sign up to Digicel today.
More great cities just got closer. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard is now even better. Fly to New York, Miami, Orlando, and Fort Lauderdale with just 20,000 Scotia points. With your new Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard, you'll receive a welcome bonus of 10,000 Scotia points, so you can enjoy the cities you love most sooner than ever. Apply today. Call 426-7000 or visit your nearest branch.
Nita Barrow was a woman in her own right, and how substantial were her international roles. They weren't roles that were played all the time in the Caribbean. When in the Caribbean, not all the time in Barbados. So she was a West Indian woman in a very railway. But beyond that, she was an international woman.
The 17-year-old boy who drowned on Sunday remains in the hearts of those in the Cherry Grove community. Neighbors paid tribute to Simeon Morris this week as the family struggles to cope with the loss.
The chill of mourning was evident when CBC visited Cherry Grove late Monday afternoon. Black strips of cloth on houses and vehicles told the extent of the neighbors' distress. Some of Simeon Morris's friends were too distraught to speak, and many others were still in shock.
That was very hurtful. Pleasant young man. They gone speechless. Stick me in front of a drop of blood. Couldn't believe it. If I keep these out, nice fella. You always see anybody together with a hockey stick. That was the thing.
On Sunday, Simeon and his younger brother Stephen went with a friend to a family picnic at Silver Sands Beach. The fun event soon turned tragic as Simeon, who was knocked over by a wave, later drowned. It was this neighbor who received that unwelcome call and then had to tell a mother that her son was never coming home.
I went to her and I told her that I just get a call and I very sad. And I really can't talk to her anymore. I can talk because they hurt me. You know, it's not the children. They're very nice children, obedient and everything.
Another neighbor, Leonard Toppin, says his grandson almost suffered a similar fate that day.
He was on the beach also. When the tide washed, he and the other fellow who drowned. But a fellow come and rescue him, Jonathan, not knowing that the other fellow is out in the water. Otherwise, Jonathan would have gone too.
Simeon lived at this house, but that evening the mother sought comfort at the family home in St. Matthews. His older cousin, who he used to call uncle, says it's been hard for the entire family.
We're struggling and we're coping, but there's a lot above.
Simeon Morris was a fifth form student at the Christchurch Foundation School. Denise Blackman, CBC News.
Heartbreaking stuff. Well, a push is on to foster the spirit of entrepreneurship among women. This from Audrey Padmore of the Crystal Padmore Foundation. Mr. Padmore was speaking at the Women Trauma Addiction Seminar, a collaboration by Marina House and the Business and Professional Women's Club Crisis Center. He encouraged women to view the problems they face as motivation and develop their own businesses.
Next year, March, for Women's History Month, we are hoping to bring that program back and to provide an opportunity for you to grow, for you to learn services where you can learn how to make money in your house. You don't have to find a job outside. That we can have the opportunity for you to take your skills. Because some of you have been laid off, and I've heard, I listened to the Prime Minister. I spoke at Barbados Comes to Atlanta in May. And the focus of that was to help Barbados become an entrepreneurial nation.
Well, another supermarket has the honor of being a guardian of Barbados heritage. Jordan Supermarket, coming from humble beginnings more than 50 years ago, was the latest to hoist a flag for the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation's Independence Initiative. Assistant Manager Sabrina Jordan says the company is pleased to participate in the celebrations.
Before 1966, Jordan Supermarket was a small shop on the beachside in Fitz Village. Now in 2016, we have matured into 4 supermarkets in the island. And just like Barbados, we too have reached a milestone. On behalf of Jordan Supermarket, I would like to thank CBC for this opportunity and also to say happy 50th Independence Barbados. And may God's blessings continue to rain on us.
CBC's Admiral Nelson praised Jordan Supermarket for its contribution to Barbados over the years.
Jordan's, as you know, has provided 4 massive supermarkets in Barbados, giving Barbadians the very best prices and affording Barbadians an opportunity to get some of the very best products in the commercial market. And we would like to say that this is a great venture. We enjoy having you, and let's hope that Jordan's can continue to be a part of this presentation and our commercial ventures for the next 50 years.
Well, still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across the region. But before we get there, here's a tip from Coverley Medical Center.
Regular checkups by a physician can help to detect cancer and other illnesses before they become painful or even fatal. So, have you booked your next annual checkup?
Store All is the largest self-storage facility in Barbados. We offer both indoor and drive-up self-storage with coded electronic access, a state-of-the-art camera surveillance system, motion and smoke detectors, and a nightly security guard. Call Store All today.
My name is James Parr. I am the Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Agricultural Society. Sandals has allowed the local farmers to be able to earn income, of course, to feed their families on a more consistent basis. That in itself benefits the community in general.
Sandals Resorts International supports regional farmers and fishers by purchasing millions of dollars worth of fruits, vegetables, and seafood every year. This stimulates the economies of the islands and ultimately contributes to the economic growth of the region.
My name is Derek Walker, and I'm a senior site foreman with Shelbury Construction Incorporated. Sandals has brought lots of jobs, lots of opportunities for tradesmen, for special artisans. It has brought jobs in every sector of the islands.
Over the last 6 years, Sandals Resorts International has spent approximately $200 million building, upgrading, and renovating its resorts. This boosts the regional construction industry, increases airlift, creates jobs, and strengthens regional economies.
Boarding school experience, I'd say it's definitely been life-changing. I've met countless mentors, friends, staff that I know would help me through anything.
I would say that this school really broadens your horizons and it really allows you to see more, and it just helps you be prepared to take on all that you want to do and everything that you want to see in the world and in yourself.
In the British Virgin Islands, the Telecommunication Regulatory Commission has threatened to take action against Flow if it does not address what is described as the poor service experienced by some users of its fixed-line broadband internet. While noting that it has been working closely with Flow for roughly a year to address the situation, the TRC announced that it recently signed a new customer charter on fixed broadband service, which has set out a number of targets for Flow to meet. Under the charter, which becomes effective on November 15th, affected consumers can claim compensation and alternative device. The TRC notes that if a customer experiences no service or less than 50% of their sold speed due to Flow network fault for more than 2 working days, the customer can and should seek a refund of the bill for the affected period. Police in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are attempting to reassure residents about their safety after 4 people were murdered on Sunday night. Investigators believe that a single suspect, 18-year-old Jorani Baptiste, who is said to have a history of mental health problems, may have committed all 4 murders. Police are operating on the theory that Baptiste killed 30-year-old Nicholas Lane about 11 p.m. on Sunday, then killed 75-year-old Avis Israel and her son, 47-year-old Ronald, in their home before killing 50-year-old Pamela Williams around 1:30 on Monday morning when he was captured by civilians. Between the first murder and the last, the suspect is believed to have attacked 3 women in a house in Old Montrose, but they were able to ward him off. Governor of the Jamaica Central Bank, Brian Winter, is maintaining that the Jamaican dollar is fairly valued at the current exchange rate of just over 129 Jamaican dollars against the US dollar. At the Bank of Jamaica's quarterly media briefing yesterday, Winter said that economic assessments support this and that the bank has been active in the market to ensure stability. The Jamaica Central Bank governor indicated that, to date, the dollar has depreciated by 5.9% for the fiscal year 2016-2017. He says this resulted in a small appreciation in the exchange rate within the last 3 weeks. Also in Jamaica, a police constable on suspension was shot dead in Negril. The police have not released the details on the killing. However, the High Command said the police are on high alert following the murder. This is the 3rd officer to have been attacked in 4 days. On Saturday night, an officer was shot and injured in St. James. The shooting happened a day after another cop was shot and injured in St. Andrew after he tried to stop gunmen who were attempting to rob a pump attendant at a gas station. Well, sports is just ahead, but first, a tip from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
Let's celebrate 50 years of independence. Did you know that the first settlement in Whole Town was originally named Jamestown after its benefactor King James I of England?
Celebrate 50 years of independence at NIFCA Central in association with Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center from November 14th to 26th. Beginning with NIFCA Visual Arts and Photography Exhibition, Shades of Light. Monday to Saturday noon to 6 p.m. from November 14th to 26th at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center. Bring a friend and grab the popcorn as we watch some of our locally produced films. 6 p.m. November 18th at the Barbados Public Workers Credit Union Film and Video Screening. Mouth-watering dishes and tantalizing drinks are the main ingredients at the Roberts Culinary Arts Arena. Beef up your skills at our Culinary Arts Workshop or just witness the pros at the Professional Cook-Off, Best Bajan Cook, and Stir It Up Mixology competitions. And come taste the hand of our local celebrities in the Celebrity Showcase. Friday 18th and Saturday 19th November, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Celebrate 50 at NIFCA Central in association with the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center, November 14th to 26th.
The National Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to my country Barbados and to my flag, to uphold and defend their honor, and by my living to do credit to my nation wherever I go.
The National Pledge was written by Mr. Lester Vaughan, a former teacher who was born in 1910 at St. Simon's in St. Andrew.
Good evening, I'm Sean Green with the CBC Sports. Pan American International Insurance Warrens are still the queens in waiting after their coronation was put on hold last night. Warrens are seeking to repeat as champions of the Goddard Enterprises Limited Women's Division I Volleyball League, and victory against Burger King Clapham Toners would have secured the title. However, a leak developed in the roof at the Kensington Barn due to persistent rain. The resulting wet court meant that the game was postponed. Warrens, the only unbeaten team in the entire tournament, will now have to wait until Sunday to have another chance of becoming repeat champions. That's when they take on rivals Flo Deacons. Now, before the leak became too much, Carlton and Chargers managed to play their opening encounter. Now, that game lasted just short of 3 hours, with Carlton coming out on top. CBC's Mark Seal reports.
Carlton got the show on the road when Narissa Dyer takes the short set and powerfully spikes it for the point. Next, the set goes out wide for Shakira Jack to drive the ball down the right side of the court. Chargers were out of the game for the majority of this first set, but Danica Headley goes to the block to make a statement. However, Carlton shut them out for the most part. Jack rammed this one down their throats. Aisha Maycott joins the fun, going through the middle to give Carlton the first set 25-12. On to the second, and Chargers awoke from their slumber. Headley going down the line with perfect placement. Then she brought the finesse part of her game, dinking over 2 Carlton blockers. Carlton were losing control in the set, but Maycott put her hand up to solve the problem as she scores in the backcourt. Carlton found their strength and power again as they came from behind to take the second set by 2, 25-23. In the third, Chargers were now fully awake and ready for battle as Ronald Ben lobs this one into the empty backcourt. Chargers finding fluency in their game as Shani Leacock denies Carlton. And even the luck started to go their way, with what should have been a free ball actually getting a point. Chargers taking the third at 17. Carlton had their own plans though. They were looking to close out the game. Their defense brought out the big block and they won the fourth 26-24. The fifth was relatively close, but with Rhea Bryant powering off the block, Carlton took the game in 5 sets. 25-12, 25-23, 17-25, 24-26, 15-12. Mark Seal, CBC Sports.
Thanks, Mark. Meanwhile, rain also affected the other volleyball venue at Albury in St. Philip. Foundation United were 2 sets up on Deacons when strong winds blew water into the exposed eastern side of the facility, causing the game to be called off. The other game, Cormier versus All-Stars, was also called off. Well, it's down to the nitty-gritty of the David Thompson Memorial Constituency Council Football Classic as the quarterfinals are to be decided. Now, among those booking a place in the last 8 are St. James Central, St. George South, the City of Bridgetown and St. Andrew. CBC's Anna-Marie Burt reports that St. Thomas and St. Michael South also advanced with wins at Bayville.
Crucial times is up for grabs as a place in the quarterfinals, and both St. Philip South and St. Thomas were pressing hard. And being gifted a corner kick off that rough defensive play, St. Philip South got a breakthrough as Dario Blackman picked up the cross to slot it in, so there is something on the score sheets in the 30th minute of play. By the 27th, it would be a level playing field. Now that's ball. And from the right, holding off the defender, Nicholas Griffith put St. Thomas back in the game, 1-1 the score. It would stay that way right into deep in the second before Shaquille Stewart is brought down in the box and a penalty awarded. So it's Stewart versus the custodian, and the victor was Stewart, nestled in the right corner, St. Thomas 2-1 up. And more celebrations 2 minutes later, as in the 55th, the deal was sealed. As Kevin Scott left the boys from the east all tangled, St. Thomas quarterfinal bound, winning 3-1 over St. Philip South. The night's other game was an all St. Michael clash, St. Michael South versus St. Michael East. And things really got going in the 35th minute of this battle, when Brandon Graves was able to stave off the defense to volley over the keeper's head to give the East the upper hand. Fans, subs, everyone was in the celebration. Well, for a short time before the Southern St. Michael men found an answer. A beautiful cross finds the left boot of the Carlo Gemot, so let's call it 1-1. A score taken into the second half before sloppy play saw the Southern boys at it again. This time with finishing duties, Lyndon Watson. St. Michael South 2, St. Michael East 1. And how about one more for a good measure? Making a mess of the defense, denied the first time off the crossbar, but Gemma, like he did earlier, got the right placement. St. Michael South, the winners, 3-1 over St. Michael East, and they're heading to the quarterfinals. Anne-Marie Burt, CBC Sports.
On to cricket news. Australia were beaten in their second test with South Africa in 3 days, losing this morning in Hobart. Well, last night Barbados time. After day 2 was washed out, the Aussies were beaten on day 4 by an innings and 80 runs. Scores: Australia 85 and 161. Kyle Abbott took 6 for 77. South Africa 326. Now, South Africa, they lead the 3-match series 2-0. And CBC's Mark Seal now have 2 more examples of great Bajan sporting moments.
March 1999, sprinter Obadiah Thompson created history by winning Barbados' first ever IAAF World Indoor Track and Field medal. It was a silver in the men's 200-meter final. Oba, running in lane 5, the second lane from the outside, was clocked at 20.26 seconds, a new area record, and he was behind Frankie Fredericks of Namibia in a championship record of 20.10 seconds. 23-year-old Obadiah Thompson winning this country's first ever world indoor medal, a great Bajan sporting moment. February 3rd, 2013, Ramon Harewood, the first ever NFL player to come from Barbados, made it to the Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens, and he won. The 6'6", 334-pound Harewood played left guard on the offensive line for the Ravens in the early part of the season before injury forced him on the sidelines for the final. Ramon Big Mon Harewood, a member of the Super Bowl champions Baltimore Ravens, Another great Bajan sporting moment.
Well, that's a look at sports. Shane returns with a look at the business.
Best 7-Star and Hennessy in association with Flow and Hot 95.3 FM present Hennessy Artistry. Saturday, December 3rd, 2016 at the Kensington Oval, Barbados. Showtime 9 p.m. Featuring international superstar Miss Lauryn Hill. Miss Lauryn Hill. Beanie Man. Beanie Man. Bounty Killer. Bounty Killer. And Taurus Riley. From Barbados Cover Drive, Don Trent and Damian Marvey. MCs Peter Coppin and Vane. General tickets $90 and $100 while stocks last. Hennessy Privilege Lounge $300. Barbados, let's celebrate 50 years of independence with a special Hennessy Artistry Weekend, December 2nd to 4th. Happy 50th anniversary, Barbados. Hennessy, never stop, never settle.
Make your Christmas colorific with Berger. Get fantastic discounts and win instant prizes for every 2 gallons you buy of your favorite Berger paints in our Peel and Win promotion, where everyone is a winner. Thousands of great prizes to be won. Plus, enter for your chance to win fortnightly prizes of electronic tablets and the grand prize of a shopping trip for 2 to Miami with spending money. Visit www.bergerpaintscaribbean.com for more details. Berger, for lasting beauty and protection.
I love it. I'm a crazy Barbados. Very good. I'm almost the same. And from the time I'm dealing, they treat me better. I don't like people up there. I have to donate them and keep donating to them. So that they keep donating to myself and others. That's homeless as well. Alright?
As the Christmas season draws closer, Barbadians are increasingly seeking to secure special personal loans that are on offer at various financial institutions. One of them is Republic Bank Barbados, and the bank's general manager for retail banking, Sharon Zephyrin, says this time around they also incorporated the island's independence anniversary celebrations.
It's going to be a little bit slow, I would say, when they're ready. I mean, when they're very much sometimes the last minute. I mean, but we do have a campaign on, as with the that we have ran for many years. We were the first in the market as well to come out with this Christmas campaign loans, and again, this is one of our direct initiatives aligned at catering to that other segment of the market. So the period of the campaign will run from October to December. At this point, we do have very much competitive offerings. We do have taken into account as well the mere fact that, yes, it's Barbados. We're celebrating 50 years of independence, and wow, what better way to do it than to combine, obviously, a 50th year anniversary independence loan together with your Christmas loan.
She added that the market remains competitive in terms of personal loans, and they have been rising to the challenge.
Unsecured and secured, obviously subject, I would tell you at this point, to individual assessment. But we do offer up to $50,000, folks. You hear that? $50,000 unsecured at this point. Anyone can qualify. All you need to do is go into any of our 10 conveniently located branches and have that assessment done, and then you're on your way, whether it is for your 50th independence celebration shopping or for that Christmas. I know a lot of family is coming in and stuff, so we're here to get you on your way and going.
The Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry has expressed concern about the possible impact of the current go-slow. The action was initiated at the island's ports of entry by the National Union of Public Workers last weekend. In a statement, the Chamber said the negative effects are being felt by the tourists who have had to endure unnecessary delays. The Chamber adds that this is the only sector which makes up growth in the country at this time. The BCCI also says that many of its importers are frustrated with the slow customs clearances, adding that this could not have come at a worse time, since businesses are currently gearing up for the critical holiday period. The Chamber has therefore called on all parties involved to consider the greater good in ensuring that Barbados' economy is not further adversely affected. Time now to take a look at how stocks traded on selected exchanges across the region.
In Jamaica, Sagicor Group Jamaica Limited was the volume leader with 452,560 units, followed by Cable and Wireless Jamaica Limited and Grace Kennedy Limited. In Trinidad, JMMB Group Limited was the volume leader with 309,136 shares, valued at $281,313.76, followed by Angus Stewart Holdings Limited and Sagicor Financial Corporation Limited. And in Barbados, Sagicor Financial Corporation Limited was the volume leader, trading 4,506 shares at $2 each, followed by Banks Holdings Limited and Fortress Caribbean Property Fund Value Fund.
In international business, for every dollar the U.S. exports to China, it imports 4 times as much. That's kept prices low for American consumers, but Donald Trump has criticized the imbalance. Some economists are hopeful that Trump doesn't start a trade war that ultimately hurts the United States.
4. It's a number at the heart of U.S. trade with China. For every $1 in goods the U.S. sells to China, it imports more than $4 of Chinese-made goods. It's a relationship that has kept prices for American consumers low. It has enriched companies and their shareholders, but moved the American factory floor for textiles, apparel, and the like halfway across the world. American working class anger about this arrangement brought Donald Trump to the White House. 20% of everything the United States imports comes from China. Trump has blasted the imbalance of the U.S.-Chinese trade relationship, sometimes in the crudest terms. He describes trade as a binary arrangement with one winner and one loser, and the U.S. is the loser. He calls China a currency manipulator for holding its currency in a trading band that favors Chinese goods against dollar-denominated U.S. exports. The relationship is not simple. Technology is also a driver of job loss, complicating the trade is bad argument. In many cases, the factory jobs that left the U.S. for China have now left China for other developing countries. And the relationship is not just tennis shoes and Boeing airplanes. There's cyber espionage, hacking. China is expanding in the South China Sea, but is also a buffer to an erratic and dangerous North Korea. What President-elect Trump does next is critical.
That's business. David Best is next with the weather.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
As Barbadians prepare to celebrate 50 years of independence, Barbados Lumber Company is encouraging homeowners to spruce up for the grand occasion with a special 20% discount on a selected range of items until November 30th. This week's specially discounted items are Purple Heart, paints, and domestic hardware. Count down to independence with your special 20% discount from Barbados Lumber Company, Waterford and Church Street, Speightstown. Terms strictly cash.
Barbados Lumber Company. A very good evening to all, and I hope you enjoy the cool conditions. Take a look at the extreme temperatures. We got up to a high of 28.2 degrees Celsius. The minimum was 24.6 about at 6 o'clock. The skies were fair in Charnox. The temperature was down to 26.2. The humidity stood at 80%, and the winds were coming in from the east at 10 kilometers per hour. But we had a whopping 56 millimeters of rainfall in Retreat in St. Lucie last night. We had 21 millimeters, so most of the shower activity fell during the night. But let's take a quick look at the satellite photos. Ecuador. You have the islands of the Lesser Antilles, and it was a surface to low-level trough system that was responsible for the instability over the southern half of the island chain, and as a result we had this multi-layered cloud mass that maintained its presence over the southern portion of the region all day long. Now our analysis is indicating that this trough system is going to remain pretty close to the west of the island chain, and as a result the southern portion will continue to be on the unsettled side. Now the difference is that in the middle portion of the atmosphere we're seeing variable amounts of moisture, and this is going to be the determining factor as the days go by. Now for tomorrow though, we're going to be seeing a lot more cloud than actual precipitation, but towards the end of the week we're seeing a bit more moisture coming into the middle portion of the atmosphere, and as a result there's the potential for a little bit more shower activity towards the end of the week. The northern portion, they're going to continue to see fair to partly cloudy skies with limited shower activity. Well, let's take a look at the precipitation chart. As I indicated, the moisture profile, it is going to be quite variable. Not a whole lot of shower activity tomorrow. The medium and high level cloud makes it look a lot more active than it really is. We're taking a look now at the 4-day prediction, and it is going to be around late Wednesday into Thursday into Friday that we are seeing that mid-level moisture boost, and as a result there's the potential for some showers and maybe even the chance of isolated thunderstorms. Sunrise is going to be at 2 minutes to 6. Sunset is going to be at 29 minutes after 5. The first high tide is going to be at 9 minutes after 5 in the AM. The second 11 minutes to 5 in the PM. The first low tide 28 minutes to 11 in the AM. The second is going to be at 28 minutes to 12 in the PM. And the seas, slight to moderate in open water. Swells are peaking at 2 meters. The winds are going to be easterly to east southeasterly 15 to 30 kilometers per hour. Take a look at our outlook for tonight and tomorrow. We're looking at generally cloudy skies, showers, intermittent rain, and there's the possibility of a few isolated thunderstorms here in Barbados.
Boarding school experience, I'd say it's definitely been life-changing. I've met countless mentors, friends, staff that I know would help me through anything.
I would say that this school really broadens your horizons, and it really allows you to see more, and it just helps you be prepared to take on all that you want to do and everything that you want to see in the world and in yourself.
Celebrate 50 years of independence at NIFCA Central in association with Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center from November 14th to 26th. Beginning with NIFCA Visual Arts and Photography Exhibition, Shades of Light. Monday to Saturday noon to 6 p.m. from November 14th to 26th at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center. Bring a friend and grab the popcorn as we watch some of our locally produced films. 6 p.m. November 18th at the Barbados Public Workers Credit Union Film and Video Screening. Mouth-watering dishes and tantalizing drinks are the main ingredients at the Roberts Culinary Arts Arena. Beef up your skills at our Culinary Arts Workshop, or just witness the pros at the Professional Cook-Off, Best Bajan Cook, and Stir It Up Mixology competitions, and come taste the hand of our local celebrities in the Celebrity Showcase. Friday 18th and Saturday 19th November, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Celebrate 50 at NIFCA Central in association with the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center, November 14th to 26th.
This season on CBC TV, The People's Business, Sundays at 8:05 p.m. Made possible by our partners, Solar Dynamics, the most efficient solar hot water system.
Russia is assisting the Syrian government in a massive assault in the city of Aleppo.
Today, we saw very heavy bombardment from the Syrian regime hitting several different neighborhoods. There were reports of dozens of explosions throughout the city over the course of several hours. One Syrian television correspondent described it as unprecedented in intensity, and that's saying a lot, considering that the month-long period of bombardment before this 3-week or so humanitarian pause killed 500 people in eastern Aleppo in the span of a single month, and there was 1 week where nearly 100 children died. So clearly there's a lot of concern as to what this operation, if this is only the preliminary stages, is going to look like. If the Syrian regime uses the tactic that they've used previously, there will be ground troops as well involved in this, and there were reports of artillery fire throughout the day today. Ground troops could essentially surround a rebel-held area. Those borders are quite porous right now. Munitions and some medicine and food aid is able to get in and out, but if they cut off all of those supply lines, they essentially leave the 8,000 rebel fighters, but also the more than 250,000 civilians that are in eastern Aleppo stranded, trapped, and their food supplies are running low. Robin?
Well, tell us more about that, the scenario that's facing them.
It's a tremendously difficult situation for civilians on the ground because the food items that are available at market are very limited. There are no fruits and vegetables right now. The basic staples, the prices of those staples have shot up sometimes 300, 500% or more, and so people are paying a tremendous amount of money just to be able to eat one meal a day, if that. And the last round of relief that was that the people are relying on was handed out last week. No new aid has been allowed in. The United Nations is warning of a mass starvation scenario, and that's not even taking into account the influx of patients at the hospitals in East Aleppo if these airstrikes do result in significant casualties.
We'll have a recap of the headlines after the break.
Countdown to 50.
I am Lion Shonda Ford, Zone Chairperson for the Lions and Leos of Barbados. Lionism was established in Barbados in 1961, just a mere 5 years before Barbados gained independence. The Lions Eye Care Center has been the most significant community service healthcare contribution to the people of Barbados from the local and international Lions, where some $3.2 million was donated towards the construction and outfitting of the unit. As Lions, we are proud of our significant investment in our nation's key resources, which is the development of the people and the communities in which we live during the 50 years of our independence. We are now 15 days before the 50th anniversary of independence.
Countdown to 50.
Industry Minister Innes has launched a scathing attack on the trade union movement in Barbados. He says the island cannot move forward with what he described as a reckless trade union movement. Commenting specifically on the go-slow at the island's ports of entry, he says the situation is frustrating for both locals and visitors. Meanwhile, the Personnel Administration Division has responded to the National Union of Public Workers in the Akani McDowell affair. General Secretary of the NUPW, Rosalind Smith, says correspondence from the PAD was received this afternoon following a meeting of the Public Service Commission yesterday. She says the union will be responding to the PAD by tomorrow. The Combermere School has once again been forced to close as a result of environmental concerns. Students and teachers at the Waterford Institution were advised to leave the compound at 12:30 this afternoon after more than 7 teachers called in sick. Teachers at the secondary school have complained for symptoms of headache, sore throat, burning skin and eyes, that those symptoms returned when teaching in certain areas of the school. Now to the forecast for tonight and tomorrow. Generally cloudy with some showers, intermittent rain and possible isolated thunderstorms.
Why we just gotta pay so much taxes?
Most of us are wondering the same thing. Why do we have to pay all these taxes? The Barbados government depends on all of us for its revenue. Our tax dollars help government to provide much needed goods and services for us all to enjoy. Government requires significant revenue to run its operations. These monetary contributions are not only important to the government, but make your life and mine a lot less expensive. To explain why these taxes are so important is Professor Winston Moore, head of the Economics Department at the University of the West Indies.
Taxes are really important because they allow governments to finance public goods. The best way to explain public goods is that these are goods that provide benefits to the entire society. Our road infrastructure is a really good example of a public good. We utilize our road infrastructure in terms of our recreation activities as well as our business activities as well. So if we're delivering goods and services from one business to another business, we utilize a public network. If we are dropping our kids to school, we also utilize a public network. Now, unfortunately, one of the characteristics of a public good is that it's difficult to exclude individuals from utilizing that good once it is constructed. So because of that characteristic of public goods, we therefore need to have taxes for providing that public good, and is best provided by a government authority or some central government authority.
Taxes are dues we pay for the vital resources that government provides. To provide these resources, government needs to raise income, and so we pay taxes. The healthcare for our families, education for our children, the road network. So without having a collective approach to funding these resources as individuals, we will not be able to afford these services. Additionally, the NIS, that goes directly towards your long-term benefit, whether you are ill, and in the long run when you retire, it goes as a pension benefit. So basically government use that to help to protect you in the long run.
If persons do not pay taxes, then government would not have the necessary revenue they need to match their expenditures to pay for social services, to pay salaries, wages and salaries, and also for the infrastructure. They will have to cut expenditure, which means reducing the social welfare services, or they will have to borrow to finance, which is called deficit financing.
Government can either raise this monies by borrowing on the domestic market or borrowing on the external market, and this in a sense would increase what we call the government fiscal account, and hence lead to some issue of public sector debt.
So you see, your tax dollars ensure that the government can provide much needed services and meet fiscal challenges. But what are these fiscal challenges and how can we solve them? Well, that's the focus of this series. It Matters Fiscally is sponsored by the Central Bank of Barbados and will provide insight into breaking down several components of fiscal management, explaining how revenue is raised and spent, explaining fiscal deficit, surplus, balanced budget, and more, explaining the island's fiscal challenges and the importance of keeping fiscal balance, providing examples of countries where the deficit has been reduced and how it was achieved, connecting the dots between fiscal management and protecting the value of our dollar. So stay tuned as we take this journey to fiscal enlightenment together. Until next time, I am Alicia Bascom, and this has been It Matters Fiscally. Is education really free? Taxpayers play an integral role in making education more accessible.
So you're saying that these services ain't free? Like how we start with free education?
Those are the services that are considered essentially public services. And those services always have to be paid for by taxation.
I would rather pay the taxes, right, so that the children could have a better education.
That's it for tonight's edition of the CBC Evening News. On behalf of the crew, thanks for joining us and have a good night.
You're watching CBC TV Channel 8, the station of our 50th independence anniversary.
Easy to play, easy to win. I told her ticket is where I begin to win with Mega 6.
Hello, I'm Portia. Mega 6 keeps on making Barbadians richer. Over $3.8 million has been paid out to lucky Mega 6 players so far this year. And if your lucky numbers are drawn now, you could wind up with $520,000. Now on to tonight's Mega 6 draw number 3,793. It's supervised by Auditor Maria Pinder from Ernst & Young. And those eligible tickets, they're dated the 15th of November 2016. Here are tonight's lucky numbers. The first number, 3. The second number, 24. The third number, 17. That fourth number, 26. The fifth number, 16. The sixth and final number, 14. Your winning numbers, right? 3, 24, 17, 26, 16, and 14. Here's a look at our latest winner. Congratulations from the Barbados Lottery. Purchase has its privileges. Play VIP Club, the new instant scratch game with thousands of prizes to be won from $100 to $5,000 and up to 20 chances to win on every single ticket. You can be a VIP. Get your VIP Club tickets from Barbados Lottery agents island-wide. That Super Lotto jackpot, you'll want to get tickets for a jackpot of $3,650,000. You have to be in it to win it. Join us on Thursday night, 8 o'clock, for the next Mega 6 draw. The Barbados Lottery, supporting sport, youth and culture.
Easy to play, easy to win. I told her ticket is where I begin to win with Mega 6.
You're watching CBC TV Channel 8, the station of our 50th independence anniversary.
Show that means business. Your host, Belle Holder.
Hi, everybody. Tonight will be the night when we learn who will be the winner of Bank on Me Season 3. Will it be Amanda from Grow It? Or maybe Khalil and Veronica with Caribbean Transit Solutions? Or perhaps it might be Daron of C&G Star Trading. Well, we spoke to some of our audience earlier to see who they came to support.
I'm supporting Auntie Amanda.
Well, I'm here to support Daron Brathwaite, yes, and I'm his mother.
Yeah, we're supporting Khalil Bryan and Veronica.
I am here to support the show because it's a wonderful show and I'm interested in joining next year, so I look forward to seeing the results of tonight's proceedings.
I'm very encouraged with the Bank on Me program. I believe that it is a wonderful program. What it has done for Daron is to get him to dig deeper into the business and look at all the aspects of it.
The overall concept is really a great concept in terms of promoting entrepreneurship, so I'm here to get a little excitement in terms of what's happening.
It's been a long journey to this finale for these brave entrepreneurs. And, you know, I have to say it started with the Business Boot Camp, which took place over 4 months. 6 finalists were privileged to attend an inspiring masterclass at the Hilton Barbados Resort presented by 2 of the region's most outstanding entrepreneurs. We'll be sharing those excerpts from that very special occasion in just a moment.
More great cities just got closer. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard is now even better. Fly to New York, Miami, Orlando, and Fort Lauderdale with just 20,000 Scotia points. With your new Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard, you'll receive a welcome bonus of 10,000 Scotia points, so you can enjoy the cities you love most sooner than ever. Apply today. Call 426-7000 or visit your nearest branch.
On the road to success, what you wear says a lot about where you're going. At Abed, we have the fashion-looking garments and fabrics that are perfectly suited for your journey. The definition of chic, the power of elegance, the look of high fashion, inspired and fabulous, the cutting edge of fashion. So get dressed for success at Abed's, the cutting edge since 1964.
This is for you, the hero of the household, the one whose to-do list is too long, the kind who does and never says can't. At Ace H&B, we know paint is more than just a color. It's a feeling, a texture, an emotion. It's making the right match to the right mood, to the right space. It's inspiration, creation, and design. Dip the paint, glide the brush, set the mood inside and out. Tell your story with color. We are Ace H&B Hardware, the place to create and be inspired. Just ask.
In my wildest dreams, I had never thought that I would be able to own a beachfront property in Barbados, because to me that was reserved for a select few. And I didn't even think that the bank would lend me $4 million, you know. And the bank said, look, you've got a good track record. We had the 10% deposit because I'm not one to squander money. The company's money is the company's money. Champers was doing well at the time. The money was on the bank. We had the 10% deposit, and my mother said to me, you can have my house to mortgage, you can have my apartments to mortgage, whatever you need, I have confidence that you can do it.
That if we could align the souls and the spirit of everyone in the organization and get them to understand that we don't manage from our ego, but we manage from our spirit. Because when you manage from your ego, E-G-O, you edge God out. And when you edge